weird. I've never seen anything do that. And I don't mean to sound sensational. I haven't.
Look at that.
Oh.
Wow. Pfizer. That's the Pfizer, right?
Ooh, look at that.
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Forbidden Feed. I just want to thank anybody that's been watching the videos. Thank you for rocking with me. I do appreciate it very much. Don't be shy. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let's try to get this community cracking. As usual, take these videos with a grain of salt. You decide what's true or false. Time is valuable, so I won't waste any. Let's jump right into it.
The shit I'm about to show you is about to blow your mind. So scientists took it upon themselves to bring back an animal that was extinct for 10,000 years. You heard what I said? 10,000 years. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Listen to what he's saying.
The howl of a dire wolf hasn't been heard on planet Earth for more than 10,000 years.
10,000 years.
That's because the species is extinct, or was. Colossal Biosciences is a Dallas-based company that's using
Colossal is that company that wanted to bring back that Tasmanian tiger and the woolly mammoth.
genetic engineering
Listen.
to de-extinct long-gone species.
You just heard what he said? He said that scientists are going to start bringing back species that's been going for years. Who gave you the authority to do that? Not God. And what are they planning on bringing back next? Think about that. They just brought back a set of wolves that haven't been here for 10,000 years. That's not crazy to you? They're saying that these wolves went extinct around the Ice Age. So okay, they went extinct around the Ice Age. How did you get their DNA? And now that they're here, what do you plan on doing with them? Pay attention.
Let's see some class. Look at this. So I flip this to L2, and then I bring this to 1, and fire. Now look at that. Fire.
And for how long did they just call us conspiracy theorists?
Okay, perfect.
Seeing these lines in the sky, some believe these are concerning chemtrails and others just call it a conspiracy theory.
Either way, Florida lawmakers took a big step toward what they call banning weather manipulation today. Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders looks into the plan and also what's next.
It was last year between Hurricanes Helene and Milton, GOP firebrand and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene had this viral post. She claimed the federal government was controlling the weather, stoking conspiracy theories that the White House was trying to influence the 24 election. The idea was quickly denounced by politicians on the right and left, but about a month later, State Senator Ileana Garcia filed SB 56, banning weather modification in Florida.
It was wild that I didn't know how close my own wife was to the Clintons.
That you were married to her?
And well, I was married to her.
How close was she to the Clintons?
I mean, cell phone away, like, or hey, tell Ye to say this away, or hey, go out and use your platform to push the vaccination away.
This motherfucker. This guy took over the internet this week. With this is what took over the internet. I had a pretty solid morning routine, but nothing like this. Y'all think he really does it like this?
So we're going to be serious about the Lord's business.
You know, I don't think I ever actually watched this guy's full thing all the way through. I think I just saw all the remakes.
That's it.
So looking at it, bro, we gotta go ahead and get in at least 10,000. Thank you.
That's getting paid by Saratoga.
Heavy objects to levitate whilst they were tearing towards the ceiling. Metals are oddly contorted into strange shapes and resembled like jelly and different materials fusing together. That he actually used Tesla's plans, so to build these Tesla coils, and this was done with ultrasonic frequencies. And again, this is not really being picked up in the mainstream, and this is a free energy type of technology that actually does defy gravity, and obviously that would probably be a reason why it wasn't in the mainstream. This is moving objects with sound, but obviously we've got the pyramids as well. So pyramids was another way of acoustic levitation.
Inside here is 3 grams of sheep explosive. This is how it works. Did you see that? That little bang is enough to penetrate the skull and destroy the contents.
What are the chances of that thing even being detected? It's like so tiny. It's a drone for starters, and it's like looked like it was like this big.
Let's please multiply 2 numbers and see if he gets it.
These guys are nuts.
Okay, what is it?
9 0 0.
Unbelievable.
1.
You shuffled in Dr. Powell.
So he got the plus too.
China is saying that they don't care how much higher President Trump goes with his tariff. They're not breaking. They're ready to fight to the end. And as we know tonight, midnight, that 104% tariff that President Trump was talking about is going into effect for China. But again, China is moving like they got the upper hand. They're saying that anything that we make in America, they can make for cheaper. And they plan on making for cheaper. And that goes for your favorite designer items, electronics that you love, anything that we are making, they're saying that they're gonna make for cheaper. And you know what that's gonna do, right? Now, we all know how advanced China is. My question to you is, do you think that President Trump is making the right decision? Or do you think that he's going exactly too far with these tariffs? The markets are down all over the world, and it looks like the world is going into another recession. And a lot of people are saying these things are happening because of tariffs.
Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the tariffs. Like, in my opinion, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. But when it does get better, it's going to be a lot better. So it's kind of worth it going through the hard times to come out on the other side more prosperous. Unfortunately, for most people, especially people like in their mid 30s, 40s, they might not get to see that golden age. You might kind of bypass them, but we'll see.
What are you saying? Pay attention.
This is Charles Schwab. It's not just a company, it's actually an individual. And he made $2.5 billion today, and he made $900 million. That's not bad, because you know he's in financials.
he has a videotape deposition of Bill Gates.
If he didn't like what you said, he would, he was known for responding with the words,
"Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard."
That's ridiculous. I'm not using this thing. No. Somebody's confused. Somebody's just not thinking. I mean, there's no way.
We'll figure it out.
You guys never understood. You never understood the first thing about this.
He's a multi-dimensional individual. He has great depth in so many different areas.
Hi, kids.
You had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, he's dead, so, in general, you always have to be careful.
Today we're announcing a commitment over this next decade, which we think of as a decade of vaccines.
The vaccine is critical because until you have that, things aren't really going to be normal. And it won't be normal until we get an amazing vaccine to the entire world. And for all 193 member states, you must make vaccines a high priority in your health systems to ensure that all your children have access to existing vaccines now and to the new vaccines that have recently become available.
And keeping children alive, would that create more of a population problem?
Whoa. Keeping children alive, wouldn't that create more of a population problem? Like, something about this guy's face just makes me want to smoke it with my fist. God. And people are like, and people just like ignore these things, like he didn't say it, or they just don't hear it, or he meant something else. Like, his father was behind Planned Parenthood.
Look at that. Holy cow. It's cleared. I've never seen anything do that. And I don't mean to sound sensational. I haven't.
Look at that.
Oh.
Wow. Pfizer. That's the Pfizer, right?
Ooh, look at that. Okay, so we'll first take the normal one without anything on it.
Yep.
You can see little platelet clumps up in here throughout, and then a couple of white cells in the background. So that looks pretty decent. Like you're going to live forever, Dale.
All right. Good to know.
All right, let's see what the Moderna looks like. So again, we'll start kind of out at that thicker edge first. And we'll work our way towards, should be the thinner portion of the prep. Question is, where'd all the cells go? It pushed them back into a big giant clump over at the edged clump. I don't know. But where we
like blood clotting?
We put that drop, there are no red cells there. Bleaching clear, some of them are folded, and some are called, what do we call, crenulated, a little crinkled. But yeah, I mean, that whole edge is like bleached. So this is the J&J. Disordered, isn't it? And then there's a little more of that stacking, that rouleau here. And again, look at all this clumping here out on the edge of it.
Yeah.
It just, like you said, like a nuclear bomb went off, they just congealed it. And again, that's not spike, that's just the lipid nanoparticle. So these are becoming more spherical, and you're losing that donut in the middle of your red cell. What's happening here is slightly from the outside of the cell in, causing those cells to balloon up slightly, because now you got a subtle osmotic shift here. And all of these are supposed to be, again, isotonic. So here's that first Pfizer, and these were the ones where we just put a drop on and the whole thing just cleared. But this is where all that fluid went. And again, those don't look very red to me either.
I can't believe that humans as a race fell for that massive lie. It's unbelievable.
One form, deform, reform, makes no difference, it's all the same. One is their unit of measure, but it's not. All social systems we put into place are a mere sketch. 1 + 1 = 2, that's all we've learned. But 1 + 1 has never equaled 2. There are in fact no numbers and no letters. We've codified our existence to bring it down to human size, to make it comprehensible. We've created a scale so that we can forget its unfathomable scale.
What governs all that?
Film a car speeding down a road. speed up the image infinitely, and the car disappears. So what proof do we have of its existence? Time gives legitimacy to its existence. Time is the only true unit of measure. It gives proof to the existence of matter. Without time, we don't exist.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory around the Mandela effect?
About erasing history?
Yes. This woman gave the example of the Fruit of the Loom logo. She said the Fruit of the Loom logo used to have a cornucopia in it. So, you know, like the basket with all the fruit spilling out. Fruit of the Loom was like, we've never ever had that. And they went so far as to create an illustration of their logo all throughout the years, none of them showing the cornucopia.
That's impossible.
This chick went so crazy about it. Like, she was talking to her therapist, and her therapist is like, chill out about Fruit of the Loom. You're obviously so manic. She was like, I'm not kidding. It has a cornucopia in it, and I'm gonna die on this hill. She went through her whole closet and like friends' closets and stuff, and she finally found a t-shirt that had the Fruit of the Loom logo with a cornucopia.
No way!
And she went as far as to go look at the old like trademarks and stuff and found an illustration of the cornucopia.
Dude, what is up with that? Why are they gaslighting us?
The theory is it's a giant experiment, worldwide experiment, to see how easy it is to erase history.
I mean, that's 100% probably a real thing.
Yeah.
And they just had certain brands that opt up for it or something, or if they're like, you know, man.
So be stubborn.
For real.
That's been my theory for so long.
It's Bernstein Bears.
Did y'all catch all the subliminals in the video that the commander-in-chief posted last night? There's actually a bunch of them, so we're gonna go through them, but first I'll let you see it. And yes, he really did post this.
Tear it down and rebuild it. Bearded women.
The very first thing it says, he's coming to set them free. He's bringing the light for all them to see while the sun rises. But now let's take a deep dive, and this will shock you. First off, who is that right there? He's actually seen 2 or 3 times in the video, making it purposeful. Do y'all notice anything weird about the dancers here? Let me show you how strategic this is. Do you see the crescent moon at the top of that tower right there? This literally means a spiritual new beginning and new hope. But hope in who? Yes, we see gold trumps all over the video. And I do mean all over the video. But wait, that's not all. Take a look at this picture right here. What is this? Oh wait, that's not a chandelier, that's a pyramid. With an obvious eye in the top. See, people think it's just AI, not understanding that AI has to be meticulously programmed to do certain things. Like this right here. Did I mention more aisles of Trump? Now what is this right here? The Trump people are gonna be mad, but look, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Y'all love my scrutiny and digging when it comes to other people, but just not your guy. So again, what was this? It's a goat. The same exact goat reference we keep seeing. Yes, this is real.
I was Team Trump for the longest time, but his recent actions have made me feel a little otherwise.
This is real. This is real. The goat with gold horns, hoofs, and a tail. They will say yes, the greatest of all time, but you know why the industry uses the goat. And if Obama or anyone else used the goat, you would scream Baphomet. But because he does it, by the way, the money says in Trump we trust, right? Ta-da, they're trying to put him on the money, a new $250 bill. And yes, it's real. It's all real. They are trying to bring forth revelation themselves. The demon in London holding the bowl. We know the angels pour out the bowls of wrath, but everything's inverted with them. I'm telling y'all, we're being bamboozled. Let me know what y'all think below.
Video. What the fuck? That shit's like... Dude, what is that? Go down. Oh shit! Oh shit! Anybody get down? I got it.
Looks just like the one that happened in like Norway a couple weeks ago. I think it's when like a meteor hits the atmosphere and breaks up.
Look at that!
I don't know.
What the fuck? What? Very good. That's an airplane that flew up. Oh my god. It's an asteroid for sure, dude. A meteor shower? No, it's an asteroid that just exploded when it hit the fucking, what's it called? Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Asteroid hit the atmosphere and exploded.
I'd start driving over there right away, trying to get some pieces of that rock. Like a crackhead.
Said it themselves. They've declassified a lot of information, proving and finding many unidentified flying objects in the sky. Even American pilots have seen many of them, but at the time it was all sealed. After all, the world is vast, and the universe is even more boundless. It's hard to say what can happen, but it's possible there are technologically advanced beings that surpass us, beings that are more advanced than Earth. But watching this film, it's clear to me that it's definitely not a drone. Why? Because just look at the cloud layers. The brightness of a drone wouldn't be this intense. No matter how bright a drone is, it wouldn't reach this level. The brightness shining through the clouds, showing it's above the cloud layer, and still being that bright is impressive. From the witnesses' observations, it changes speed quickly. Unlike airplanes which follow a certain flight path, these objects change rapidly. So I think it's likely that this is the UFU fleet, with many U-5s appearing simultaneously over Jiangzhou.
See that?
Lebanon, Illinois.
Isn't that weird?
This is the most demonic thing I have ever seen taken place at any sporting event in my entire life. What you're looking at is a demon being summoned in the crowd on top of a satanic pentagram, and there's even demonic chants on the banners below the crowd. What you're looking at is a home game of FC Kaiserslautern, also known as FCK, and they're doing a pre-game ritual, and what you're going to see here is that people are holding up signs, and it creates a satanic pentagram. And as time goes on, you can see the person shifting the camera. On the other side, I believe those words say invincible forever. But then slowly there's a demon that's going to arise. Now, if you look at the bottom, the banners here, they say words in Latin. And if we translate them, let's see what it says. Exaudi nos Lucifer et surge ex abyss sume nimas nostra. Oh my gosh, this says, "Hear us, O Lucifer, and rise from the abyss, take our souls." What the heck? Now they actually say something else as Lucifer is slowly spawning from the crowd. It says, "Ad lucem nos Lucifer, et surge ex abysso sume animas nostras." Jesus, forgive me for even saying this, but it says, "To light us, O star, and arise from the abyss, take our souls." What the heck? I mean, I don't care if their mascot is like a devil or something, whatever the heck it is. This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. There's got to be some evil energy going on in this game.
Thanks for calling Leonardo Hotel. How can I help you today?
Hi there. I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
I want to learn Gibberlink now.
Help me understand how, in your mind, to the average person who hasn't put amount of time that you have put in, credibility after 1 times 1 times 2, 1 times 1 equals 2. How do you come up with that conclusion?
Well, if I was wrong, then they wouldn't have made such a big stink about it. But the fact that I was able to show them with their calculator that because they have 1 times 1 equaling 1,
right,
an action times an action without a reaction, and as a result of it, you get this contradiction with the square root of 2 being cubed having the same value as the square root of 2 times 2, which should say a red flag, a herring right away that there's something wrong with the mathematics, with that being the problem that leads into the distribution of prime numbers, because the number 2, any prime number that you subtract from another prime number, always is going to end up in a composite number. But except with the case of the number 2. That's the only prime number that you subtract from another prime number and you end up in a prime number. Why? Because the prime number 2 is a composite number.
What doesn't make sense to me is 1 times 0 shouldn't equal 0. It should equal 1, because you have something there and you multiply it by nothing. It should still be one thing. It's almost as if they taught us this kind of math to keep us in a loop. It's like the Fibonacci sequence. It's that number plus the number before it equals the next stage. And if you're taking out important math that inhibits us from actually learning how things are created and how life works, then it could simply keep us just in a loop.
Howard went on this podcast with a credentialed physicist and talked about everything. Everybody wants to call him stupid and crazy, but nobody even understands his argument. Let's talk about it. Terrence Howard says that 1 times 1 should equal 2, not 1. Why? Because an action times an action equals a reaction. Something new, but in our math, 1 times 1 just stays 1. Remember, math is supposed to be a description of the physical universe. This leads to weird logical fallacies like how the square root of 2 times 2 is equal to the square root of 2 cubed. I have a video on that. Another thing he says doesn't make sense is 1 times 0 equals 0. This violates the conservation of energy. There is no such thing as 0. If the foundation of math is off, if it does not fundamentally describe the universe, then the whole system, the fruits of the poisonous tree, is all off. The physicist that he spoke with was in agreement with him on a lot of this stuff. They're saying that the current system of math that we use is broken. We're going to lead up to a vibratory universe model here in a second, but the
physicist just couldn't get out of his indoctrined way of thinking. He has a PhD in physics, has years and years and years of taking in that information.
Another thing they talked about to get us there is that the model of the electron is also wrong. So we are told that electrons have a negative charge. That's part of what makes it an electron, right? But here's where the paradox comes into play. Let's imagine that we hypothetically split an electron into 2 pieces. Then we would have 2 pieces of negative charge. Now let's say we try to put those 2 pieces back together. First of all, they would repel, so you can't put them back together. Second of all, in our current system of math, a negative times a negative equals a positive. It's a paradox, and anytime your science or math leads towards paradox, something is wrong. So an incorrect model of the electron leads to an incorrect model of the atom. They're saying that we should imagine all particles as having both a positive and negative charge, like a magnet. And therefore, the model of the atom has no rotation. It has no planetary motion. It is not needed if the particles themselves are like magnets with both charges. What this then leads to is a vibratory model of the atom where it's not orbital, it's vibratory, it's oscillatory. Then from this model of the electron in the atom, you can work up to a harmonic resonance model of the universe, where in its most simplified form, one wave started it all, broke up into a bunch of different waves, different frequencies, and these separate frequencies are the forms.
Look up scalar waves. I think I even made a video on it like years ago. You might be able to find it in my library.
That we experience.
This situation between US and China just got even crazier, y'all. Things seem to be getting worse and worse. I don't know, y'all. I'm hoping this man know what he doing, because come midnight, Trump placed a 104% tariff on China, y'all. Starting midnight, 104. Like, what the fuck? So basically, everything that's coming from China, starting midnight, will be doubled in price. All this is because they said that China refused to step down. They said, we will not get bullied. We will fight to the end. They like, y'all got us fucked up. Now, y'all think about it. Your favorite gadgets, your favorite clothes, your favorite things coming from China is finna be hella expensive. Y'all already seen the new iPhones. They said might start at $3,200. Like what? Like I said, I really hope he know what he doing. The stock market is down. Everything is down. So y'all buy them dips. Need y'all thoughts down below. Do y'all agree with what Trump is doing? Do y'all think this is a good idea? And do y'all think we are headed for economic disaster? Because this trade war just beginning, y'all.
Wait, this whole time I thought they were the same person. You're telling me I was wrong? Please don't watch this video. Don't say I didn't warn you. Because after you see it...
Even before this starts, I'm going to get Michael out here.
Stop it. Get some help. Everything you thought was real will completely change, because 99% of you won't be able to stomach this. Now look, Eminem's one of those rappers, is deemed one of the most lyrically inclined individuals, and came into the game and completely revolutionized it. Somebody that takes his craft so seriously, inspires others to do the same. But then everything changed, because what we thought was real ended up not being the case. Because we thought for years that Slim Shady was the same as Eminem. We couldn't be further from the truth. The sad truth is that if they lied to us about this whole time, what are the other dark secrets that they're keeping from us? I mean, who else should I cover? Drop it in the comments down below.
2006, Eminem died in a car crash and it was covered up by his label. And again, like Paul McCartney, he was replaced. A Tom McDonald song. On the song Cloned Rappers by Tom McDonald, he said, if they can't control you, they erase the old you. They cloned Gucci, cloned Kodak, cloned Eminem. He ain't rapped since Encore. Know that. Beautiful lyricism. It doesn't help also that in 2015, B.O.B. went on a big rant about artists being cloned.
I'm telling y'all, they always tell you straight to your face. They don't even hide it anymore.
Sacrifice loved ones. You have to sacrifice loved ones for a long period of time if you want to be great. It is very unfortunate, and you feel it at times. You know the saying: if it's too hot, get there. Sometimes
you knew what he was doing with that delivery. I'm pretty sure it means like you have to sacrifice your time with your loved ones. Like you're not going to get to spend as much time with your wife or your kids because you got to be out there practicing and honing in on your craft. But the internet is the internet, and they will take that and run with it any way they can. So LeBron is sacrificing his loved ones for fame.
Sometimes you just got to get out of the kitchen because it gets hot. But you have to have a discipline. So sometimes you have to sacrifice loved ones in order to be great. And for me, I was 18 when I came into the league. So I got my best friends from high school that's now in college. I got one that's at Ohio State, and they're calling me, telling me, hey, bro, you gotta come down to these parties. And I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I look back on it now, I wish I would have done a few of them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I did.
We all know LeBron James is a part of the club, and they always tell you in their jokes, they're jokes. He's been in for a while.
Lobotomies were a procedure that were popularized in the 1940s and the 1950s to control people with mental health disorders. Rosemary Kennedy is only one of over 20,000 people that had a lobotomy during this time. Her father ordered the lobotomy when she was only 22 years old to help control mood swings, and he was afraid that she was going to get pregnant. He He was worried that she would shame the family and damage their future political careers, including her brother, John F. Kennedy. The majority of people that had this procedure were women. Basically, what a neurosurgeon did is they drilled 2 small holes in the frontal lobe and took a device, kind of like a butter knife, to sever the prefrontal cortex. It's a form of psychosurgery that would basically induce a childlike state. Essentially, it silenced the mentally ill. Medicine and society has come a really long way since that time. Leave your thoughts in the comment section.
I'm definitely going to have to look into that some more. They're saying that JFK's father had a lobotomy done to JFK's younger sister because she was out of control and was going to ruin his political chances. Like, excuse me? Literally severed his daughter's brain and turned her into a vegetable because he was worried about ruining his son's political chances. That's wild. There's got to be some more behind that.
It's crazy that you're 72. Like you look like, I don't know, you look like you're 36 or something.
If you eat 1 meal a day and fast 3 days out of a month, he said, you'll hardly ever get sick. He said, but if you don't want to ever get sick, just eat 1 meal and then nothing the next day and then eat 1 meal every other day. At the most, you may get sick once every 2 or 3 years. But if you want to take it to another level, like the ancient patriarchs that lived to be 1,000 years of age, did you know that before Noah, all the way from Adam to Noah, the average life expectancy for man was 912 years of age? Regular years the way we count them. Adam was 930 when he died. The oldest man in the scriptures named Methuselah, 969. How'd you live to be almost 1,000? He ate 1 meal, fasted 3 days, and then ate another meal. If you eat like that, you will never get sick. Your body will never have enough toxins to even make you sick.
So the end of the world really is coming. Looks like we're cooked. So I'm sure you've all seen the news recently, quite a lot going on in the world to say the least. To talk about conscription and war and all of this crazy stuff, but as I said in my last one, don't worry guys, I highly doubt that's going to happen. Now, in the news in the last couple of days, the government have come out saying Brits need to prepare a 72-hour survival kit because it's likely we could be going into a blackout and some pretty bad stuff going on, which is absolutely brilliant. Reportedly, Russians were spotted in the North Sea, basically checking out the UK's infrastructure from underwater. They're saying there's basically a lot of threats that they're going to sabotage the gas pipelines and cause blackouts and stuff, which isn't going to be good. Again, don't worry, I'm sure it's going to be fine, honestly, but I'll keep you posted. However, they've come out with the kit that you will need to basically prepare for when and if this does happen, which consists of things like cash, your ID, canned food, a wharf, a flashlight, Swiss Army knife, and a load of lists of stuff. So this time last year we were being told to practice bunker drills, actually to the day, what the hell. Now we're getting survival kits, so yeah, I'll keep you updated.
This has got to be the craziest coincidence in all of history. Imagine going to a doctor's appointment about an upcoming surgery you have, and this doctor is a specialist that you've never met before, nor have you even been to his clinic yet. When you walk in for the first time, the staff all react like they know you. Not just that, they're all talking to you like you were just there and came back for some reason. You, confused, ask them, what's going on? How does everyone know me? The receptionist tells you, your name is so-and-so, isn't it? Telling you your exact first and last name. Everyone there insists you were just here and go on to confirm your job and the surgery you're getting screened for, which is all true, but you didn't tell them any of this information yet. This all happened to a man named Brady Fiegel in 2015, and it's even weirder than what I just described. As you can see, he's a very distinct looking man, 6'4", ginger, red bushy beard, wears glasses, and he's a professional baseball pitcher. He was going to the doctor to undergo a very rare procedure called Tommy John surgery on his pitching arm. The reason he and the staff at the surgeon's clinic were so confused is because they just spoke to a Brady Fiegel that looked exactly like him just moments before he came, who's also 6'4", has identical facial features, is a professional minor league baseball pitcher, and was also there to get Tommy John surgery. These were two Bradys that have never met before and weren't even aware the other existed. So naturally, they took a DNA test and found out they were long-lost siblings who were separated at birth. Right? Well, they did do the test 4 years later in 2019 on a TV show called Inside Edition and found out they were actually not related at all. Like, not even super distant cousins or anything. Nothing. There is no logical explanation to this. These guys just have the most uncanny doppelganger of each other, which they met in the most bizarre way possible. Same.
That to me is evidence of a simulation.
Uncommon name spelt the same way. Same appearance, same job, same height. Got the same arm injury at the same time. Getting it treated at the same doctor's office days on the same day. This has got to be the mother of all coincidences. Like, statistically, if you were to calculate the odds of this happening, it would be a percentage with so many zeros, it would essentially be 0%. But it happened, which means nothing is impossible, and you can potentially have an exact clone of yourself somewhere out there as well.
They say that everybody does have an exact clone of themselves, a doppelganger, somewhere in the world, and some people even just walk past them on a daily basis, which is pretty crazy, because that pretty much lends credence to it, which is...
They are giving us the wrong dates. We used to have 13 months in a year, 28 days in a month, and 1 day of rest, resurrection. This was even mentioned in the Bible. We have 13 lunar cycles, in each cycle being 28 days. The ocean's tides are 28 days. Women's periods are also 28 days. And then we have 13 zodiac signs, not the exoteric 12. Many ancient cultures used this 13-month calendar system. For example, the Native Americans used a turtle as their timekeeper. See, in every turtle shell you'll see 13 sections in the middle for each of the months, and then 28 sections for each of the lunar days along the rim. See, the New Year's really starts in spring, keeping us fools on April 1st as they disconnect us through our natural cycles.
Our calendar is not quite right. We're supposed to have 13 months of 28 days, with one day, the day of resurrection, Easter, as a neutral day. That's our 365 days. We've actually got 13 constellations, not 12. This same calendar is very close to the Mayan calendar, but it's also very close to several ancient Sanskrit calendars. What does sept mean? 7. I thought that was the 9th month. What does oct mean?
8.
What does nov mean?
9.
What does dec mean?
10.
It's supposed to be the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month. Jan is 11. Feb is 12. March is 13. April is our first month. Babies are born in the spring, the 1st of April, Easter. This is the start of our new year. This is the start of spring, when the flowers start coming up, the grass starts coming up, the trees start leafing out, the babies are born. That's the first day. Our neutral day, day 1. The day we rest and celebrate the resurrection, the new beginning, the beginning of Christ.
That's wild. Because, like, why would they even change it to have 12 months? You got to have a leap year. Some months have 31 days, some have 30, one's got 28. Like, why wouldn't they just leave it as something simple as 13 months, 28 days a month? Everything works on that same cycle, and you have 1 day of rest a year. I can tell you why, because they want to confuse us.
April is month 1.
April Fools. That's
and then
crazy.
We lost a month in there. Where is it?
Somebody impounds your car. You parked it where it wasn't supposed to be parked, and they towed it, put it in an impound lot. And the guy wants some $250 for towing and $100 a day for storage. Well, anybody that's in possession of your vehicle that doesn't have title to it is renting your vehicle. So you send him a true bill for renting your automobile for as long as he's had it. If you want to go down to the local courthouse, you can pull up a lawsuit by Avis Rent-A-Car or Hertz Rent-A-Car, copy it, and sue the tow truck company. Or if a police officer orders a tow truck company to remove your vehicle from the highway and he won't give it back to you, just send him a true bill for for rent-a-car. Your car will be back in 1 day, maybe a couple hours. The fraud that takes place here is profound with the courthouses and the courts. All judges, attorneys, lawyers, politicians all swear the same oath that no law or fact shall ever be tried in court.
Before, I'm going to say it again. These 5G towers, they're not for internet and phone service. That's all a scam and a lie and a cover story for the Project Bluebeam technology, for the microwave weapon that it was designed to be, to zap you with frequencies and mess with your sleep and your health. This is not conspiracy theory. And by the way, those of you that want to throw out the word conspiracy theory, that immediately tells me how ignorant and asleep you are. You don't even know what that term, where it came from or why they use it. It's simply to discredit whistleblowers, people telling the truth. So when you throw that term around, around. You just show that you're asleep and a sheep. That's it. So I'm going to show you this video because a lot of these are starting to come out now. These companies and these small mom and pop shops that fix your cell phones on a daily basis. When you take them in, they're broken or they need repairs or a new screen. These people that own these repair shops are now making videos about what they're finding when they take your phone apart. There is no 5G chip in these phones. They're not only charging you more money for the phones and making a huge profit, but it's not even got the 5G in it. That's why your service still sucks. After all these billions of dollars spent on marketing about the blazing fast speeds you're going to have. Check out the video.
I have two 5G phones in front of me. Right there is where the 5G chip is supposed to be. And right there is where the 5G chip is supposed to be. And again, I fix phones every day, so you can take this from a reliable source. There's not a single phone in Canada that supports 5G. There's not a single carrier in Canada.
I've said it.
This is the true story behind Michael Jackson's smash hit, Billie Jean. In the song, he says, "The kid is not my son." Well, who's he referring to? Brandon Howard. Brandon Howard is the son of Mickey Howard, an R&B singer who went on tour with Michael Jackson a little before Brandon arrived. Now, for years, there's been speculations if Brandon is really his son or not. Apparently, there's DNA evidence that proves that he is the son of Michael Jackson.
If you ever seen or heard this guy, you'd be like, 100%, I don't need a DNA test. That is Michael Jackson's son.
Now, I've hung around with the Jacksons before, and guess who was around? Guess who they've been taking care of all these years? You've guessed it, Brandon Howard. There's a reason they're taking care of him. Brandon's been to my house before for an event we had. His mannerisms, his voice, if he's not the son of Michael, I don't know who is.
When we was in heaven,
agreed,
before we came through our mother, we had to sit at the feet of the Almighty. And we negotiated a purpose for this incarnation. All of us been here before, and all of us will come back again unless you fulfill your destiny in this incarnation. If you don't, you got to come back. So all of us are ancestors, right? Return. When we are born, the trauma of childbirth coming through the womb of the mother, the trauma, we forget our destiny. We recover our destiny through soul searching, divination, ancestral communication, and worship of the Almighty. You get back in touch with your destiny. Your whole life is about finding and fulfilling your purpose. And if you choose the wrong purpose, it don't matter how much money you make, you're still gonna be miserable. I can't tell you how many doctors I've met, millionaires, 2 drinks away from. You know why? Because you was not sent here to get rich off medicine. You wasn't sent here to get rich off being a lawyer. Nothing wrong with being rich, because with money you can help others. But if your life is all about the accumulation of money and materialism, you're gonna be an unhappy person, because the soul don't live off of sneakers and clothes and cars. The soul lives off of purpose. And so the point that I'm making is that child that you abort, that we abort, I'm going to claim it as the community. These children that we abort, you don't know what kind of divine purpose they had. You don't know what that child came here to do. That could have been the next Marcus Garvey. That could have been the next Harry Tubman. You got to be careful about canceling lives that you didn't make. See, we don't create life. We procreate life. God creates life. Only God, you don't create no life. You procreate life. God creates the life. And since we don't create life, we really don't have a right to take it. Be careful about canceling lives that you didn't make. You don't know what that child was supposed to do yet.
Damn, now that's a message. Yeah, so like I said at the beginning of the show, don't be a stranger. Leave some comments down in the comment section. Let's try to get this community cracking. Don't be afraid to send me some videos. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.